Visualizations are a good way to explore data and see relationships between variables or get a sense of the distribution of data in a LabKey data grid. Prior to the 16.3 version of the LabKey server, the main charting wizard in LabKey had the ability to create box plots and scatter plots from data regions in LabKey. With the 16.3 release of the server, we added support for two additional chart types, including bar charts and pie charts. We've previously demonstrated the inclusion of these chart types as column charts that can be added to a LabKey data region using the column menu options. So for example, here in the physical exams data set that I have, I can add both of these chart types, bar charts and pie charts, as kind of mini column-wise visualizations. But with the 16.3 release, we've folded these two chart types into the main charting wizard itself to be able to view the full featured chart with the addition of the chart layout look and feel options. So to get to that charting wizard for these new chart types, it's the same as it was for the box and scatterplot options that previously existed. So I can, for example, from this data set, choose the charts create bar chart option to go to the charting wizard, where from the first dialog to select the chart type and variables, you'll now see on the left-hand side the previous chart types of scatter plot and box plot, in addition to the new bar chart and pie chart options. The middle section of this dialog will update to indicate which fields or categories apply to the selected chart type. So I'm going to start by showing an example of a bar chart based on the demonstration study data set that I have selected here. So as with the other chart types, you can make selections by dragging the columns from your selected data region into the field selection area for that chart type. And when applied, you'll see now we get a bar chart of the variables that I have selected here. As with the box and scatter plot chart types, the bar chart and pie charts do support filtering the data, so they apply filters either from the data region that I just came from, or I can actually apply a new filter directly to the data region here on the View Data tab. For example, in this case, let's filter out the blank values from this antiretroviral regimen type column. And once that filter is applied, I can switch back to the data chart and see the updated bar chart without those blank variables. I can very easily change the chart type to a pie chart. In this example, I'm going to also remove the measure selection that I had previously added for the bar chart and apply that to see a pie chart of the various different categories of or distinct values in the selected variable or column from that physical exam data set. With these two new chart types, we also added some new look and feel settings to the chart layout dialog. In particular, the pie chart has a few new options around being able to set the subtitle along with the title that was previously available for other chart types. The subtitle and footer options can now be added, or text can be added to display on the chart itself, along with some settings for changing the color palette of the selected categories for the segments of the pie chart itself, various different settings for inner radius, outer radius of the pie chart, along with the gradient color, and settings around whether or not you want to show or hide the percentages, the values themselves for the individual segments of the pie chart. So I'm going to make a few changes here on the look and feel settings and apply that to see what that looks like for my updated pie chart. And you'll see here that I don't have the percentages shown, but I can still get to them by hovering over each of the segments of the pie chart itself. As with the other chart types that previously existed in this tool, the bar charts and pie charts can be exported to a PDF or a PNG image, as well as for users that have developer permissions or administrative permissions. You can get a script where if you copied and pasted this selected JavaScript and HTML code, you could bring that to a wiki or a module view and save that as a chart that you want to see elsewhere in the product. So it will recreate, this is a way to quickly recreate the chart that you were just seeing in a different location or outside of the charting wizard itself. Also, as with the other chart types, the new chart types can be saved just as you could before, using the save dialog to give it a report name and description, and those saved reports will show up in the data regions web part on the clinical and assay data tab, or as drop-down options from the data region that they are saved with, in this case physical exam. So I showed one way of getting to the charting wizard for the new chart types being from the charts drop-down, but I also wanted to indicate that these new chart types can be accessed by clicking on one of these column-wise chart visualizations. So for example, the bar chart that I created here on my physical exam dataset, if I go ahead and click on it, I'm brought into the charting wizard with those options pre-selected for me, just as a nice, easy way to go from the smaller chart to the full-featured charting wizard